to just vamp? Okay. I'm Tomato Anus. I was told I have to vamp for a minute. I don't know what's going on back here. I'm podcast with CJitsallGewd. Film is okie dokie. I hope maybe that has to do with it. I was told to just stand in front of my green screen and talk for a minute. I should probably start a timer. I started a timer. I'm gonna assume that I've talked for like 10, 15. So, film is okie dokie with CJitsallGewd. We watch a movie, typically something that I haven't seen or CJ hasn't seen. We're like, hey, I wanna watch this movie with you, and we make the other person watch it, and then we talk about it beforehand, before we watch it, and then we watch the movie and we record ourselves while we talk over the movie. Here's a movie we've watched.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
You want to hear us talk about it? Then listen to The Film is Okie Dokie with CJ and Tommy. I've been talking now for, oh God, I'm almost out of time. A minute is a lot shorter than I thought. And then we won't talk about the movie afterwards and we say whether or not the film is okie dokie, and we still are trying to figure out what exactly okie dokie means. Is it good? Does it just mean okay? We don't know. We know about as much as you, and we've recorded like 10 of these episodes so far. So listen, please.
All right, everybody, please give a warm welcome back to Torah Night. So thank you so much for filling in for this run. We did have a runner that had to hop out for some personal reasons, and so Torah Night stepped in and took this slot and is going to be running Spyro on a whim here. So thank you so much.
Hello, thank you so much. Anyone that was not here, say about an hour ago, a little over an hour ago, my name is Torah Night, and if there's anything you've learned over the past week here on SDAT and Road to SDAT, is that I run a lot of games, a lot of different games that I feel comfortable when it comes to marathon showcases. Now, you may be wondering yourself, Torah Night, I saw the ghost line here. Have you been sitting on that chair this entire time in between? Yes. I'm stuck, and I hate to say, the only way to get me out of this chair after the run is if all of you can go and donate. So please, you do not want me stuck in this chair forever, right? You gotta donate in order to get me out of this chair. So, with that being said, now we are going through the third game of the Reignited Trilogy. So if anyone wondering, Spyro the Dragon, beloved trilogy of PS1 3D platformers, got remade from the ground up in the the late 2010s, including for PC. And we're gonna go through the 80% of the third game, which is Year of the Dragon. And so we are ready to go. Hop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, Reignited Trilogy 3 80%. You may be wondering to yourself, how does this differ from the original game's 80%? Quite significantly. In fact, I would even dare say it's two completely different speed games. In fact, if you actually want a comparison as to what PS1 version of 80% on Reignited is, I would say it's actually the 100 egg category, because much in the same way for that category, our objective is to collect 100 eggs and be able to face the sorceress. And so we are going to be going through this entire game, collecting 100 well hid. Never mind, they are not well hidden at all. We already got one. We're 1% of the way done. And one thing that we are going to try to do is do this nice little wall for cover to kind of avoid talking to this NPC. And there we go. Beautiful aim skip. We're gonna learn this game. There's a lot of funky stuff we can do with the geometry and hitboxes when it comes to the walls. As you kind of saw, if you played Spyro when you were a kid, you may be wondering yourself, wait a minute, Spyro doesn't fly up. That has to be a mistake. There's no mistake. In fact, why don't I show it again? This egg is not meant to be the very first egg we collect, actually. So with this, we are able to do a lot of sequence breaking throughout the game, and allows us to tackle levels in ways that were very unintentional when this was remade from the ground up. And in some ways, tackle levels in ways that not even the original, for as much jank and as many glitches and proxies you can throw at it, you can absolutely tackle this in a lot of really funny ways, which we are going to go through quite a lot throughout the game. And we're already done with level 1, Sunny Villa. One thing about this game for sure is the way progression works in the Reignited Trilogy, not in Reignited, just in Spyro 3 in general, both OG and Reignited, is that in order to actually beat the hub world, you have to collect what we call the end of level egg, which is the final level, the final egg that is typically something that is typically done at the end of the level, or completing a certain task that is like the quote-unquote like plot of the level per se. So we're going to be doing a lot of that and getting a lot of the end of level eggs far quicker than anticipated. Now, this is one of my favorite wall glides to show off, because if I'm able to do this correctly... Ah, beautiful. Oh, that was really tight, but glad I was able to do it. This egg that we're about to collect, that is the very first egg we're collecting here in Cloud Spire. This is actually supposed to be the last egg that you're supposed to collect. So glad that things are kind of working out. And just like that, we've already beaten the level. What the game defines as beating the level, collecting this egg, we've already beaten the level, and we've already beaten 2 levels, and we're not barely 3 minutes into the run. We're not done yet. There's still 3 eggs that we want to collect. And so a lot of the routing that we'll see throughout the game may seem like a little out of sorts with some of the stuff we'll do in the order of the eggs that we collect, but it's all done with a purpose. So if any of you are fans of the original Spyro 3, and you may think to yourself like, this is not being played how I remember it, you're right. We are playing this in so many different strange ways that kind of makes Reignited 3 as personally one of my absolute favorite games to run. Oh, and just like that, we're technically already 10% of the way done with the game. And we're not even 5 minutes into the game, but trust me, things are gonna get a lot more, a lot dicier and a lot more difficult as we kind of go in. But thankfully with the next, I would say the next minute or so, nice little brief respite. Our first kind of break into the action. Nothing too significant happening. So, well, if there's anything you like to say, now's the time. Or you want to chime in, floor's yours.
Yeah, man. This is a great game. I'm enjoying watching your speedrun quite a bit. I loved the Spyro games as a kid, and I loved playing through the Reignited trilogy. So watching some of the breaking here, which I've seen some of it before, to be honest. But it is really cool watching you do it so quickly and so accurately. I love the wall rides. I think it's such a cool sequence break, glitch, whatever you want to call it. And I'm loving just the energy that you're bringing to this game, man.
I appreciate it. Not gonna lie, the Ghostline Yard from an hour ago, that run gave me so much life. It was my very first marathon showcase of Ghostline Yard, and honestly, generally, I don't think I could have asked for a better debut showcase of that game for myself.
Yeah, man, that run was really cool. I caught almost all of it. I had to step away right at the very end, but outside of that, very fun run and very sick game. I mean, I'm sure somebody here is going to go like, I got to get that.
It almost
Just off of
always
your
feels
run.
that way every time the game is showing off at a marathon, for sure. You mentioned some of the glitches or some of the sequence breaking just a second ago. We're about to encounter one of my favorite instances of that. In fact, I would dare say is one of the most impressive glitches slash sequence breaks in the game. It's not even that difficult of a trick, but you'll kind of see what I mean when I really refer to sequence breaking in this game, because we're about to do something. We are not, it's not even a, oh, like you did it a little bit early. No, we like literally cannot. We're not supposed to be doing what we're about to do right now. So the first thing here in Seashell Shore is we get this egg Jason. We have this nice little perfect hover to, okay, there we go. And next, we're actually going to take some damage because we're going to have this next barrel push us through and go out of bounds and be able to play as Sheila. The gimmick of Spyro 3 is the introduction of these animal companions with varying different gameplay styles. We are not supposed to be playing as Sheila right now because we are supposed to free Sheila, beat her level, and then we'll be able to play as her. However, the game devs left a little bit of an opening right there, and so we were able to just very happily do a nice damage boost out of and to the out of bounds portion, which just so happens to flow real nicely into the portal where Sheila is located at.
So of the Spyro games, which one is your favorite?
Oh, for sure it is Spyro 3. Spyro 3 is my absolute favorite. Spyro 1 obviously is the first one I had. Spyro 2, I never had the opportunity to own it until my college years. So what I would do when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old is that I would rent Spyro 2 a lot out of Blockbuster. Shout out to anyone that remembers Blockbuster and rented games out of Blockbuster. And it was, I remember Spyro 2 just being like so different feeling from Spyro 1, and that almost like left me super mesmerized, and I kept renting it to the point where it would have made more sense if my parents just outright bought the game. But either way, I'm glad to have been able to kind of enjoy all three games, because I don't run Spyro OG Spyro 2, but I do run Spyro 1 and 3, and I also run all three games of the Reignited version.
That's kind of crazy. That's a lot to remember, and like the muscle memory of the different versions must be a little bit like disorienting sometimes, especially if you go back and forth between them, right?
Yeah, so I run in the Reignited version. I run a category called 293 collectibles, no major skips, of which I believe I still have world record of, where you basically collect, you free every single dragon in Spyro 1. You collect every orb in Spyro 2, and you collect all but one egg in Spyro 3, all in one sitting. And it is definitely quite a bit of an undertaking for sure, because of the fact that you not only have to remember every single individual quirk of all three games, but the routing and just making sure you kind of just have everything committed to memory does sometimes it's a bit of a challenge in and of itself. But I love this game enough, and I've seen so many runs of this game, both OG and Reignited, that my brain just kind of has a funny way of like remembering a lot of the stuff that I watch. So if you're anything like me, it's actually not as daunting of a task as one would think. But it is still a bit of an undertaking, because we are talking about like a near 6-hour speed run for sure.
That's quite the long run. That is more than I have ever undertaken for a run that I had attempted to get good at.
Yeah, no, it took me a while to finally get comfortable with running all three games in one go, but I will say it's definitely paid off in spades. Speaking of pay, we're going through this section. This is kind of a thing that is common in all Spyro games, is some form of free flight and speedway levels. I don't know how the plane missed that one. That's bizarre. So this is one thing that I haven't really touched a whole lot, but gems, unlike the original Spyro 3, at a top level, the original game speedrun, both in any percent and 100 egg, at a top level, gems actually don't really matter because you technically don't even need to collect a single gem in the game. However, in Reignited, we don't have the luxury of being able to skip every single gem paywall. So we have to collect 2,300 gems total at this high a level of the game. So one thing that for sure, the reason why we are doing this is we get 400 gems, and for what I was able to do, we collected 2 more eggs. So that is really, really darn good to have. However, we don't want to rely too much on speedway levels because there's going to be a lot of gems that we'll naturally collect. And we just wanted to get at least 300 to properly free Sheila and be able to actually play as her, even though we technically already did. However, even though we played as Sheila before, it still does not. It still doesn't mean that we can skip her level entirely.
So while you're playing Sheila here, we did get a donation from Visuals for $10, who says, "Gonna hit $1,000 today. I believe in you, chat, and I do too." Visuals said, "I believe in you, chat." I'm saying I believe in you, chat, and that's true. I think we all believe in you, chat. Let's do it.
Yes, please, chat. Let's get to $1,000. We've raised so much money already, but I fully believe in all of you and being able to raise that money more for such a wonderful, wonderful cause that we got. Right now, this is, and I'm very happy for the people who donated to give me the retro look for Spyro. I know we had a bit of war with whether we would have blue Spyro, pink Spyro, or retro Spyro, which if you've seen the actual model for PS1 Spyro, you'll come to understand retro Spyro looks nothing like what the actual PS1 model looks like. But hey, it's nice. It's a nice little cosmetic bait in terms of cheat codes. It's like that. Obviously, that kind of model was not present in the original, so it's still pretty nice to have. I've gotten plenty of PBs using the retro skins, so who knows what we'll have in store for this run.
Real quick, I do want to mention a few of the most recent donations did have a donate towards an incentive, but not towards a poll. That could have been on purpose, but I do want to remind the chat as they go to donate more, you can put your money towards a poll and an incentive, both. The same $1 will go towards both a poll and an incentive. So feel free to hit both tabs when you go to check out with your donation.
Now, one thing that I do want to point out that I did see in chat while we were in the middle of waiting this cutscene, Kasune did actually mention that we had a actually it was like very recently we actually had a race in another marathon of the original Spyro 3 versus Reignited 3. Of course, Reignited 3 won it. Shout out to Surf and the SRT runner, and also shout out to Dact, who was the OG Spyro 3 runner. Fabulous race. And so I love those kinds of showcases where you'll get to see both the original and the Reignited version kind of play side by side in ensuring that, and you see all the differences and all the things that make both versions unique. No version is inherently superior than the other. They are all wonderful, unique speed games in their own right. And that's partially why with this game, I like to do something. It's not a category I technically invented because someone else had already done something like that. Shout out to Dylan J. Fox, who's another fantastic runner of both games. Something called 200 Eggs, where, wow, that is unfortunate. Wow, Sheila got in the way and Cool. Okay, we'll get to see Buzz again. Cool. So we do 200 eggs, where you basically do original Spyro 3's 100 egg category, and you follow that up with the Reignited version of any %. And it makes for a very wonderful skill check in seeing how good someone is with both games in one sitting. But yeah, Buzz, this fight is pretty annoying, and is usually one of the first real big reset points. I just got massively unlucky because I don't know why Sheila got in the way and pushed Buzz towards me. But basically the name of the game is we take these hits and to kind of break the cycle of him buzzing around. Just taking this safety fodder because I don't want Sheila to be doing none of that nonsense that she did a second ago. And boom, there we go. All right, crisis averted. That was really weird that Sheila did that to me. Sheila, come on, be a team player. But yeah, that was the first Buzz out the way. And just like that, we are already a little over a quarter of the way done with the game. There's a lot of fun stuff that's about to happen. One thing that this next level is about to show off, called Enchanted Towers. The concept of both a boosted jump and a perfect hover. So one thing about, and I've alluded to that term earlier before, perfect hover. So in this game, Spyro retains his ability to get a nice hover after flying for a little bit from Spyro 2. However, in the Reignited version, we have this, we're able to figure out a way to kind of conserve a lot of the a lot of the height and jump that Spyro gets when he is jumping. And if we time the hover button at a certain point with certain platforms, we're able to get to places that we are not meant to go. And you kind of already saw that already, but this is one of the bigger examples of it. So in order to actually show off what I'm talking about, we're going to first collect this egg, and then we're going to quit the game. Because quitting the game is actually faster for what we are supposed to do. And allows us to, bring our health back to full, take us back to the start of the level. It really doesn't lose that much time. And we go over here. We're able to get to this top part that we are actually not really meant to be as Spyro, and already get to the end of level egg right from, like, almost from the start. But we wanted to collect that egg first, which is why we didn't do that at the very beginning of the level.
Are some of these jumps as easy as you're making them look, or do you just have a lot of experience so it just looks easy when you do it?
It's a little bit of both. Definitely the booster jump that I showed off it took me quite a while to figure that out, because well, part of the problem was like not to play into the old speedrunner excuse. Like, no, like I'm doing it right. It was my controller that stunk. But it was definitely something to where I needed a different controller to be able to properly do like some boosted jumps and perfect hovers. Some of the hey, my input, that's cool. There we go. The one thing for sure, some of these jumps are really difficult to pull off, because it requires like a lot of timing, a lot of knowledge, especially with the hitboxes and some of the things that this game does. Like, for example, where I just dropped off, if you don't know exactly what pixel to aim at, you could very easily crash and burn. So there is something in this in that little thing where if you're not careful, you can actually just break off and actually end up like wiping out on your skateboard, and you lose a lot of time. And that's a lot of it comes from experience and a lot of testing and figuring out stuff for yourself with what you need to do, how things work in this game. Because this game in the Reignited Trilogy, so here's a little thing about the Reignited Trilogy. technically speaking, all 3 games were somewhat separately developed. It wasn't like a concerted effort from the main developer, Toys for Bob, in ensuring all 3 games get the love and attention it deserved. Not that they wanted to, but they were a little bit rushed. And in fact, Reignited 3, I believe, had a different developer working on it, and they were rushed. So some of the stuff on here, there are some things that you're kind of seeing that you maybe want, or if you try it for yourself, you may be thinking like, oh, this is not working, or like this is just not this is not going the way I want it to. And it's mainly because it was rushed. This game was rushed a little bit, so some corners were a little bit cut. But on the speedrunning side of things, that does give us the opportunity to be able to learn a few things and just kind of figure out things as we go. And just like that, for example, we go over here. Pretty sure that cannon, that little square that Spyro was on, not intended to actually be hoppable from there, but because it was, we're able to do something called main art skip, where we're able to jump and just get enough of a glide and hover to access that egg and save us like maybe like 15-20 seconds almost compared to the intended way. It does get this on, and there we go. Haven't missed that yellow thief in ages, and not gonna start now. Now we went from Sheila was our animal buddy from the last game. Now we're gonna go to our second one, which is Sergeant Bird. Now Sheila was more of a vertical platformer, a lot of hopping, a lot of everything. This one's a little bit different. It's focusing more on aerial combat with a lot of the rockets that he throws. And honestly, this is gonna be like, I have to remember. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the one and only instance you're gonna see Sergeant Bird in this game. So enjoy Sergeant Bird while you can, because this is actually gonna be our we're gonna be done in like not even a minute from now.
That's so sad. I love Sergeant Bird.
Sergeant Bird, I have mixed feelings about Sergeant Bird. As a character, I like him, but as far as controlling him, boy, it can be a rough. So Reignited did something I'm not exactly thrilled about. So controlling Sergeant Bird, moving as Sergeant Bird, actually is better. It's actually better than in the original. Like, I have a lot easier time moving around Sergeant Bird. His rockets, however, for whatever reason, decided that it liked Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift a little bit too much, and never fires in a straight direction. No matter, even if your target is 1000% like dead center, it will always do a weird drift. And it's kind of hard to explain why it even does that, when in the original it didn't have that. But thankfully, I've been able to learn enough and get enough experience in this game to where that's kind of no longer in.
We got a question from the chat for you from CJ saying, how much of a donation to do another Sergeant Bird section this run? How possible is it for you to do another Sergeant Bird section?
Interesting. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. Normally I would quit game, but for RTA purposes, I just rather let this kind of play out. Okay. I'm trying to think. What other? Is there even another spot in the game where I can even play Sergeant Bird that makes sense? There's one. Okay. Well, let me ask you. Okay, what do you think it's gonna take to? Because there is an egg I can get as Sergeant Bird, and I can route out one egg to make time for it.
I think we do it. And honestly, I don't have the authority to make this call, but I'm going to do it anyways. If we go over estimate because of it, it was for charity, so I don't care. Which is generally the policy here. So
yeah,
I'm going to go with it.
Okay, if we get... I want to get a good number. I want to get a good number. I don't want to make it too easy. I want to... You know, it's funny, we were right before the run, I was like, don't worry, don't worry, I'll throw for content. Now, this is not throwing for content, this is throwing for charity. It's a very separate thing. Let's say if we can get maybe $75 in the next 10 minutes, I will do another Sergeant Bird egg. I will do another Sergeant Bird egg.
All right, guys, go fast. $75, 10 minutes.
Speaking of going fast, and also my buddy Dylan J. Fox, who I mentioned earlier, shout outs to him for this next trick that we're about to do. I love this trick. Let's see if I can pull it off. Going up. Ah, beautiful first try. Beautiful. Love it.
That looks so sketchy.
Oh, trust me, it is just as sketch as it looks. And yeah, this is another instance where we are just able to kind of take advantage of some of the corner cutting in this game. And I will explain in just a second. I need some silence here. There we go. Boom. And we're able to... Another instance of we play the level kind of in reverse, where we are doing stuff that is definitely not intended. And just like that, we get the end of level egg from the very beginning and just kind of work our way backwards and get the rest of the eggs from this point onwards. All right, not bad. Not a bad midday garden. So now we are now going to go for our second boss. So we're basically now about to enter the halfway point of the run. Well, actually, no, we're already technically just speaking purely on eggs. We are already at the halfway point of the run, but it's gonna get harder from here. Spike. Oh boy, what can I say about this guy? So Spike has 3 phases. He throws a lot of projectiles. First phase is probably the worst one, not because of Spike, but because of RNG with the red rock projectile that we're supposed to charge and hit Spike with. Completely depending on RNG, and missing one loses us about 6 seconds. Okay. Good placement for now. Let's see where's the next. Okay. Little sketch, but that's good enough for me because this is yeah. If we hit those first 2 and not miss anything more, then trust me, that makes me so happy already. And so now becomes the phase where Sergeant Bird is going to throw some projectiles, but also something we have to be super careful of, because Spike can also grab some of these things that Sergeant Bird is throwing. But by being right next to him, we're able to essentially bait Spike into focusing on trying to squish us, as opposed to trying to collect any of the projectile that he is dropping, as well as shooting at us for the most part. And all right, pretty clean. That was a pretty clean Spike. I do say so myself.
All right, we're getting a lot closer to getting some bird action here. We got $50 from CJ,
Ooh.
who says bird. And then we have $10 from Kitsune of Dreams, who says bird up. Which puts us at $15 away. So chat,
all right,
hit me with another 15.
Maybe 75 was a little bit too low.
I don't know. For 10 minutes, I think that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with this.
I'm pretty happy about that, dude. All right.
We need 15 more, though. Otherwise...
15 more? Let me put it... Okay. You have until the start of Charmed Ridge, which is the next... which is 2 levels from now. Or after this level, we do another one, and then after that, then is Charmed Ridge. So we have until about, like, the midway point of Charmed Ridge to be able to properly route it out. It is actually pretty cool that, like, if we actually meet this, you'll actually get to, for people that don't know, we're actually gonna get this one specific egg inadvertently shows a lot of Sergeant Bird lore. So everybody loves the bird. So let's see if we Wait, oh, what the? Okay, that's invisible hitbox. Cool, cool. I did say a lot of corners were cut. Never said they were all good. The game literally blocked me from moving forward. That's actually new. Cool. But yeah, let's now I'm actually rooting for this impromptu incentive to be met. But yeah, only $15, so that's 3 people donating that's 3 people donating $5 each. That could be 2 people donating $7.50 each. That could be 4 people donating $3.75 each. I don't know how I make that I was able to pull that math out of my head, but I did. Or 1 person, that brave soul, being the one to give us to 175, or get us to 75 with a $15 donation. This gem count, so the main focus is trying to get to 1,000 gems to free our next animal buddy. 703. This gem count is excellent. This is an excellent count. Right, not much time. And this level is also not a short one. This is a short one, not a long one. So let's see if we can get this one going.
We got $5 more from me saying "bird is the word."
Ah, beautiful. Ah,
we need $10 more.
$10 more. I was gonna make the bird is the word joke. You joke sniped me. And chat, can you believe this? Can you believe this host like stealing jokes that I never said I was going to make out loud? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Y'all should donate $10 and like donate more money than that $5 donation. Just to kind of, show that donation what's up. And also get us to more Sergeant Bird.
Well, I think the chat was heeding your voice before they might have even heard it, because we got a $10 anonymous donation saying "bird is the word."
Oh, there we go.
Following up on my original "bird is the word," because there's a lot of "bird is the words" in that song. But that gets us to that 75 improv donation incentive to do another Sergeant Bird level.
Beautiful, love it. Listen, it's all for charity. We're all having fun. Everyone wins. Charity wins. Chat wins. Sergeant Bird wins. So now, and great timing. So now we're first gonna go into this whale. It's the Jonah whale. And now we're going to leave because that whale. Another example of things not being fully programmed. That whale, depending on the location and when you enter it, can potentially soft lock you. So we just quit the game to be able to start from scratch and also get us back to full health. So Charmed Bridge, as if I didn't need any more reason to be worried about this level. So Charmed Bridge is maybe, but I would say it's, in terms of like the entirety of the level, probably the biggest skill check in the entire game, because this thing has the potential to kind of upend your run in a number of different ways. And there's a lot of really cool tricks and a lot of sequence breaking, like this one that we're about to do. Works. Cool. Love it. This egg, nowhere near supposed to be the first egg that we actually collect. The second egg that we're about to collect, well, technically could have been the second egg or your first egg, but the way we got to this point, nowhere near as intended. So far, this is going really well. And ooh, did we get that third one? Oh, beautiful. 3 for 3. Kobe. Okay, so far, skill check is going very, very well. Gem count is excellent, actually. Actually, I would even dare say we kind of have a little bit too many gems, so I don't have to worry about grabbing. So, this egg is also like another perfect example of perfect hovering, where we are just using the perfect hover to kind of sequence break this egg, because a lot of it involves a lot of like throwing these seeds around and just using a lot of the what they give us in terms of platforming and get to the next level, the next section. But we are comfortably able to just get a nice perfect hover and skip a couple of portions, including this final portion. This we are not supposed to actually get the second egg in this intended manner. So far, this is actually going really, really well. Oh yeah, I am actually massively overgemmed. But I have probably collected like maybe 25 more gems than intended. So, everybody, y'all donated for this. Are you ready for more Sergeant Bird? That enemy that I just passed was supposed to be the last thing I do in this level, but now we're gonna get more Sergeant Bird. So,
Bird, baby, let's go!
All right, you ready for Sergeant Bird's not totally real or totally not girlfriend? That is Isabel. Yeah, absolutely. According to Sergeant Bird, purely platonic relationship, nothing romantic whatsoever. Right, get in, Bird. You know what I just realized also? I did like we actually do have one Sergeant Bird section left in the game, but in my defense, it's a literal blink and you miss it. It's like 10 seconds, not even. So that is fine. So this egg is essentially blow up all the cat witches. So while we are doing that, because there's a third phase to this is phase 2. There's anything you want to announce or anything to read off or anything? Floor is yours.
Yeah, I guess coming up for the rest of the day, we do have some Zelda block action. So for the next 2 runs, we have The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past with Gamer Glan 100%. And then after that, Legend of Zelda's Echoes of Wisdom from Glubbers with the All Dungeons run. So if you guys are looking forward to that, make sure you keep watching the stream after this run. And we're looking forward to those a lot. So enjoy the rest of this, and then enjoy those too.
I also love how, because I went this route, I got even more gems, as if I wasn't already at a point where I had way too many gems.
Well, the children got about 75 more gems. So.
That is true. That is true. That is what's important. So yeah, I'm happy with the time loss, especially for charity. I'm happy with it. That is a 1000% super acceptable time loss to take. And it's not even, at most it probably, well, we'll see what happens with the egg that I'm taking out of this. First, you're gonna another instance of getting to this pirate ship. Nowhere near supposed to be something we get to do at the start of the level. In fact, this is getting to that pirate ship is kind of one of the last things we're able to do. Instead, we make that into one of the first things, and this egg is also not something we're supposed to get at this point. In fact, we can only get this egg, or at least Dev intended. Oh, hello? Hello? What is game? Cool. Interesting. We are not meant to get that egg until after we beat the level. So, kind of goes to show just some of the cool stuff you get to do throughout this game's speedrun. Now comes the subs. See if I can start. Very good start. Loving it. Beautiful, beautiful subs one. And just like that, we are already kind of starting to, never mind, forget those crabs kind of disappearing like that. That's fine. That's 1000% fine. And just like that, we're now going to access our final Animal Buddy throughout this run. I cannot overstate how many gems I've collected in this game. I've never collected this many gems in a run in so long. Oh, this is fine. This is fine. All right, so our final Animal Buddy, Bentley. Not the most enticing of gameplay. He's a very big, slow-moving character with a giant club used to bash enemies. However, there is one funny thing that, unfortunately, for time constraints, not able to show off in this. So one thing about a lot of these cutscenes when we free a character, they were imprisoned by Moneybags, who was basically kind of like a minor antagonist in Spyro 2. Basically, he served as both your ability check in terms of, like, you have to pay him to learn some of the stuff that we can do now in Spyro 3, such as head bashing, swimming, and climbing. And this one, he serves as the keeper of all these characters. So every single character does one thing to Bentley, to Moneybags. Sheila kicks Bentley because she's a kangaroo. Sergeant Bird throws missiles at Moneybags. Bentley bashes Moneybags with his club. In fact, Bentley is like, hey, you want me to hit him one more time? And Spyro gleefully says, at least, and bashes Moneybags again with the club. Which is always one of my favorite things to see in Spyro 3. But this is kind of like a bit of a break, nice little respite for me, because it gives me the opportunity to mention this next thing that we're about to do. And it does require the rest of this level to properly explain, because it is a very big, heavy focus time. So, this next level, the next thing that we're about to do, the next boss is Scorch. We're about to try to attempt something called Rocket Storage. What Rocket Storage does is, the end goal is we're able to take a projectile that we are thrown at during the fight and use it to skip a Moneybags check into the next level. Now, if we don't hit it, it stinks, but it's not the end of the world. We have a backup for it. Unfortunately, it does cost us like a couple of extra minutes, but it's not the end of the world doing so. And it basically accomplishes the same thing as the original plan. So, one thing, here's how it works. Bentley is gonna throw two kinds of rockets. Green rocket and red rocket. Green rocket, you only get one green rocket to throw at. Red rocket, you get 50. Green and reds do the exact same amount of damage. Green hovers, and red, basically, you shoot it like it's like a machine gun. The objective of this is we want to beat Scorch on roughly the same frame as a green rocket is being thrown out onto the field. How do we actually get to that point? So there are 6 different rockets that Bentley throws. He has 4 greens and 2 reds. The objective is to try to get 2 reds out onto the field when we actually get to that final hit. Because if there are 2 red rockets that are on the field yet to be collected, Bentley is not going to throw another one. So we want to ensure that we have 2 reds on the field and less than 4. Ideally, maybe 1 or 2 on the field. Not the worst thing in the world if it's 3. But we want to ensure that we want to try to get to 2 red rockets. Okay. And a lot of this is also RNG dependent. Okay, that's fine. Red rocket as my second, as the second thing he throws. That's actually completely fine. You have to now also be paying attention to. Look, Bentley barely threw that thing. That's a green. I have no idea what he. Scorch can just give me. Just move to the other side. That is the red. That's good. And now we're gonna try to see if second red is not thrown. That is a green. A little bit concerning because I have no idea what that original. Okay, that is the right one. Ah, unfortunate. Unfortunate. Okay. Unfortunate. I thought he was gonna throw it. That's fine. We'll give it one more go. We'll give it one more go. If this doesn't work, just a bit of a warning, we might go a little bit, I don't know what the estimate is. We might go like maybe 2 minutes, like 2-3 minutes over estimate, just as a bit of heads up. We're probably gonna go to 3 minutes estimate, but I want to see if I can get this, because this is a really cool trick to show off. If not, that's fine, we can go for the backup. This takes a couple of extra minutes. We want to try to see if we can... The other thing is Bentley throws on a cycle. It can go from... basically, it's like an 8 to 9 count. And so, by the time we get to that final hit, I'm probably going to be mentally counting, and probably you might even hear me count to 9, and ensure that I can get the timing down right. Because the way Bentley... Where it's not just he throws something every 8 to 9 seconds. If he is moving, then the timer will keep going, but it is not going to start over once it gets to 9. So there's a lot of like mental math being done. 3 greens and a red. This is a little unusual. Kind of hoping for the red. Oh, that's okay. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of extra waiting. RNG was super not kind to us. So there's the red. Ah, really? Okay. That's fine. That's fine. We'll just go for the backup, which, not the end of the world. It is not the end of the world. Only thing now is that I have to really make sure I get this. It's a very easy backup, but I do want to make sure that, everything's gonna go, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Real quick,
Yep.
What would be the estimate for you from this point?
Probably like in the 102 range. Now, if I
Okay.
lock in, it probably I think I might still be able, if I super lock in, I might actually still potentially keep it in the 1 hour range. At most, we're talking like an hour or two, because, and by defense, we did lose time because of the extra start dipper. Very
Oh,
worthwhile.
no, you're good. I just wanted to make sure, we're got this accurate as we can, since you filled in last minute and we had all sorts of other stuff going on. I'm just making sure, or seeing where we were at with it. So
Yeah.
we could adjust if need be on our side. You're good.
Yeah, believe me, it's not gonna go like hour 10. No, trust me. I would quit speedrunning if it even approached that time. But yeah, so you might be wondering to yourself, why are we fighting Spike again? So, this is the backup. We call it Purple Rock. What we are trying to do is essentially a similar action to what we were doing with the Scorch fight, albeit way more consistently and a lot more forgiving to pull off. The trick here to execute it is, we're now at the last hit. It's not so much time the last hit to when he throws something down. This one is much more free. All I gotta do is just wait till another purple rock is thrown onto the field. There we go. Awkward late. That's a really awkward placement. There we go. And just like that, we have executed purple rock, and we are able to very easily get past the money bags check that we're about to do. And you will see in just a second, and it like give me about 60 seconds, and you're gonna understand why we went through all this trouble to be able to just do one thing. By the way, this is not something that's like breaking the rest of the run. It's literally all for the purposes of one thing. At the high level that that I am at, with like in terms of like looking at leaderboards and everything. That trick, rocket storage, literally breaks or it can make or break a run. If you at the high level, when you're like top 10 like me, or on the verge of like hitting top 5 on leaderboard, if you don't hit rocket storage, run's dead. Like, it's not even funny. It's done, yet might as well just restart. And thankfully, I'm usually pretty decent at it, but hey, sometimes RNG be RNGing. Does not mean that the run is bad. We're still gonna have a great time. So, one thing that we are going to do is collect this. Wow, game ate my input. Okay, never mind. So, alright, I was gonna try to go collect an egg right there, but I will save that for later. That's fine. That's cool. Whatever. So, we now have purple rock, and you will see what happens. You ever seen Spyro just throwing all these purple rocks? For this one egg! And now we don't have purple rock anymore. That's it. That's literally the whole point of rocket storage / purple rock. Just getting that one egg. That one egg basically saves us 1,000 gems, because otherwise we would have to go for the level normally to be able to get all the eggs that we want, and including paying money back 1,000 gems to be able to access the second half of this level. And 2, it makes getting that particular egg faster, because that plane thief is always going to be situated right where we shot it, and when we beat it, it automatically teleports us to this spot where there happens to be a very conveniently placed Superfly power-up to be able to get us the other 4 eggs. Now, in this last hub world, it's no longer an objective to get the quote-unquote end-of-level eggs. There are technically end-of-level eggs, but there aren't any more... Basically, there aren't any more things that required eggs. We are just gonna go through, basically go for the last 100 eggs. And some of these eggs are actually really quickly. So you may think to yourself, like, we're still like, you're only 80% of the way there. Like, trust me, some of these next few eggs, they are going to fly by so fast. Here comes one of the, if this was on PB pace, this would be one of those things where this next trick would be a real massive pressure point. And we get a first try. All right. That is a unbelievably, super deceptively difficult jump. In fact, that perfect hover, I would argue, if you're on PB pace, that is the most difficult perfect hover in the entire game, in the most pressure-filled perfect hover in the entire game. So getting to do it first try on a marathon is no easy joke. An old console world record of this category literally took all the 8 tries to be able to get that jump. So getting on a first try is not easy to do. Now we actually got the option to actually go for a second egg. That was actually gonna be the egg that I was gonna do, that was replaced by the Sergeant Bird egg. So thank you to everyone who donated for Bird is the Word, because we're able to get a super duper fakey gold split on here on my splits. All right, let's see. We only have 2 more brand new levels to go through, so this has been a really fun. It's been a great time. I know, obviously, kind of was. I did offer myself to do this run out of nowhere, last second. Obviously, things change, such as the nature of speedrunning marathons. But I'm so happy to always get a chance to showcase this game, and I'm really happy with everything that's kind of with. How this entire marathon has gone. We've had some phenomenal runs. We've had a lot of great donations. We've had a great donation train in this run with Sergeant Bird. So I would like to say that this day 1 of SDAT 2025, I would say it's a success so far. I don't know about you, but I think I speak for a lot of us when we say this has been a really good start to the marathon.
Yeah, I think it's been a great start. I think our arbitrary goal for day one is going to be $1,000, which we are very much on track to hit. But keep those donations coming, because to stay on track, we need the donations. Yeah, this has been great. I've been enjoying the show altogether so far. I think we got some great games coming up throughout the rest of the evening. And so, folks, be excited for it. It's going to be a good time.
All right, at the very least, I got some. Oh, there we go. Okay. My live split kind of got messed up a little bit. I thought I got a gold split on this on that level. I think if it wasn't a gold split, it was pretty close. That was done actually. That was handled pretty excellently. So we're already like 3 minutes ago. I said like, well, we're only 80% of the way there, and just like that. We're now 90% of the way there. Some of these eggs in the end game are just incredibly fast. So don't have actually that much more left in the run. I'd say we have about like 6-7 minutes left. One thing for sure that I've always been pretty happy with the Spyro speedrunning community is genuinely, when I say this, one of the most welcoming, most supportive speedrunning communities out there. Not just in the confines of like PlayStation Nation, but also just in general, the general speedrunning community. Because there's a lot of games that encompass Spyro, a lot of different speedrun groups that encompass this giant umbrella that is Spyro speedrunning. Reignited is like, you can say it's kind of like its own subsection. But one thing that all the different Spyro speedrunning groups have in common is the fact that everyone is super nice, everyone is super welcoming. It is one of the most active speedrunning Discords that I'm a part of. I would say maybe even the most active speedrunning Discord that I'm a part of, just because there's so many different games and so many different people that just love this franchise to death. And one thing that I absolutely love is just the overall camaraderie over this game. I mean, look, and just all the different unique people that run this game and just how wonderful everyone is. We're gonna see this next week with Tosacat, who's gonna be running 80% NBS with Reignited 1, who I know is gonna give a phenomenal show, always does, and I can't wait for that run.
I'm always down for more Spyro.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, we are now at the cleanup portion. Let's see. Am I missing? Oh, I am missing an egg. Okay, no. I know exactly which egg I'm missing, which is actually fine. I am going to, yeah. So this is probably going to be, just to kind of give a proper number, I would say prepare for this to be a 103. Like a 1 hour 3 minutes estimate. Which, let's be honest, not bad, all things considering. But right now we are going back, basically we went back to Molten Crater because these 3 eggs that were locked behind a Moneywall's paywall. We got the first 2, and now we are going to actually see Sergeant Bird again. I completely forgot about it, but in my defense, it is, as I mentioned, literal blink and you missed it. There's Sergeant Bird, and we're done. That's it. Bye-bye, Sergeant. That was it. It was literally just to get that one egg that took not even 10 seconds.
This is why you guys paid money.
Yeah, this is why you guys paid money to give me...
This is why I paid money.
Yeah, this is why you had me lose basically a minute. Well worth it. But this is why y'all are wonderful. So now we got this little sake egg. Okay, so now we are going to collect our final 2 eggs. Here comes the end of level egg from Desert Ruins that we technically could have gone, but for routing purposes, it makes more sense to actually do this now as opposed to later. Here comes not Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Here comes Tara. Not the same Tara that you all heard in the Ghostland Yard commentary. Completely different Tara.
This is getting too confusing. Who are we again?
I'm Tornite. I don't know about you. That purple lizard. That's Spyro. In case you weren't paying attention. And everyone else is lovely. That's who they are. Lovely. Right. Now we're on to the sorceress. There was kind of been a little bit of a subplot in this entire game, basically. So basically, the plot of the game. I love how I explained the plot at the literal final boss. Sorceress wants to live forever. She needs baby dragon wings to do so. Bianca's like, oh no, that's terrible. Like, no, that's not what I wanted at all. And Bianca went from like right-hand woman of the sorceress to now being a good guy. Oh, by the way, that's Agent 9. That's the other animal buddy that we could have freed. We just chose not to. But it's fine, because if anything, this proves that we don't need... he didn't need us, so we are actually completely fine. You might be wondering to yourself, how do we damage the sorceress? Now, you may be thinking to yourself, could it be like a supercharge? Could it be like a flame power-up? Nope. Vehicle. Like, industrial warfare is the way to go. As is tradition.
Who needs a spell when you have a cannon?
Exactly. See, I knew we were gonna get along just fine when we were talking right before the run. But here's the thing: I have a question. Who needs a cannon when we have a tank?
A tank is just a cannon on wheels. Treads.
True.
This looks like it's hovering above the ground.
A little bit. A little bit. It's funny because in the original game, it actually was on wheels and everything. So they actually modernized it a little bit. But I have a follow-up question. Who needs a tank when we have a UFO?
Now we're cooking.
Now, time is coming up at about 10 seconds. Oh, no, not 10 seconds. Like 15 seconds. If I can actually get a hit in. And now it's about 10 seconds on the final hit. And boom. Fine. There we go. All right. And that is Spyro Reignited Trilogy. Year of the Dragon. Any percent. 358 over 2 days. Dream drop distance. Electric Boogaloo.
HD remix.
Thank you. Yes, I did forget about that. So here comes it. So yep, that is it. Thank you so much. We don't need to worry about any of these cutscenes. Ew, romance, whatever. Ew. Anyway, so I want to thank everybody. I want to thank SDAT for giving me the opportunity to not just run one game, not just 2 games, but 3 games in the span of a week. Really happy to be able to showcase all 3 of the games that I showed up because I love them to death. So much so. And I am so happy to be a part of this. Happy to be always a part of any marathon trying to raise money for a wonderful cause. And as I just kind of was just saying, Spyro speedrunning, Pokemon TCG speedrunning, and Ghostland Yard speedrunning, all wonderful communities, all games that, if you're curious, highly recommend not just getting them, but if you want to get into speedrunning, all 3 games, very good speed games for various different reasons. And I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you to chat for sticking by me for this entire run, for this entire gauntlet that I've put myself under. And thank you to everyone who donated for more Sergeant Bird. Didn't realize we had so many Sergeant Bird fans, but clearly I'm still learning more about this game and about this community and this franchise every single day. So if any of you liked any of the games that I've ran this weekend, I run all of them and so much more on my Twitch at Tornite. Beyond those 3 games, I also run the original trilogy, Spyro 1 and Spyro 3 especially. I run a lot more different Pokemon games, such as Pokemon Omega Ruby and Pokemon Emerald. That I do stuff like Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color. Yes, there is a Game Boy Color version of that. It is a really, really cool speed game, in my opinion. And a bunch of other stuff. When you talk about like weird European-only racing games, such as Monster Racer, you got it. Other stuff such as Mario Odyssey, I've also ran that in the past. I've run a lot of different stuff. So, yeah, just want to say thank you so much to everyone who gave me the opportunity to do this, and yeah, that is it from me. And wish everyone a great, wonderful rest of day 1 of SDAT and rest of SDAT.
Yeah, thank you so much for doing all 3 of these runs. They were all great. Well, I didn't see the first one from Road 2, but I think it was great. My mom said it was good, so that's good enough for me.
That's a big stamp of approval.
Yeah, thank you so much for filling in last minute here as well. We really appreciate it from all of the SDAT staff and volunteers. And guys, stick around. We will be back with Gamer Glenn as he takes on A Link to the Past 100%, which is going to be a great run. So we'll see you on the other side.